Guys, so today I'm bringing guys a brand new sports cards video. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down some massive changes that are going down in the sports card hobby and pretty much letting you guys know my personal opinion on how you can succeed in the market today. I just want to preface this real quick by saying I know I see a lot of comments about the collecting side of the hobby, and I'm personally a collector and an investor. Most of my videos are strictly focused on the financial side of the hobby, so I know a lot of people who are more so solely collectors, may see some points that I make here where they totally disagree with, and I totally understand that because, of course, if you're speaking from a collecting side of the hobby, I definitely get that, and I'm a collector at heart too, so I definitely understand, but I just want to preface this by saying this video is strictly for the people who are trying to make the most money in the hobby as possible, not exactly trying to collect their favorite players, because I know a lot of the topics that I'm going to be discussing right now, a lot of the changes that are happening are not always as favorable towards collectors, and I totally understand that and sympathize with that. So I just kind of wanted to put that out there. But one of the main changes that is going down right now is revolving around repackers. If you guys have been keeping up with the modern market recently, you guys probably know that a ton of the buyers, a ton of the influx in buying demand in the modern market is around repackers. If you guys do not know what repacks are, they are pretty much people are buying up cards and creating their own sort of packs, and there is such a high consumer demand for repacks right now. So many people are looking to buy into repacks, just for more of the collecting and fun aspect of the hobby. Instead of buying, a traditional Panini Prism pack, they're buying, one of the repackers, and you guys can see that with the demand because the cards that repackers are going after, for example, Kabooms, they are outperforming, for example, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has been out, for the whole last season, and his overall cards are down a lot. You can see even his football trend and his last 90 days, has been down. And you can see his market's not overall doing good. But if you look at his Kaboom, and Kabooms are one of the key hits that, repackers are looking to buy. And you can see that his Kabooms are actually up. His Kabooms, this Kaboom right here in a PSA 9 was selling for, 340, 350, as sales as low as 315, and now all of a sudden the last two sales are 465, 450. You can see that even with the 8s, his PSA 8 since his injury has gone up by almost $100, with the new comp. So there is so much demand right now for Kabooms. Downtowns, of course, are another big one. So many, repackers are looking to buy up downtowns and put them in their packs. Case hits in general, a lot of people are going after, and it has caused a massive shift in consumer demand. I mean, you can look at some of these cards right here. It doesn't even have to be the key players. It can be any player that they are looking to buy up and they think would do well. You can see Kyler Murray's downtowns, for example. This card was selling for around $210 to $220. Recently, last sale is $480. So you can just see a massive shift in consumer demand. Football quarterbacks are kind of the most targeted. You can see a lot of guys, even like Mahomes. If you look at their downtowns and their Kabooms and a lot of their cards that repackers are chasing, you can see a massive shift in consumer demand and a lot of attention towards his Kabooms and his downtowns and all of the cards that these repackers are chasing. Now, I know there's a lot of people who, personally do not invest in Kabooms, do not invest in downtowns, do not really mess with the stuff that, repackers are after. And I will tell you guys, from a financial standpoint, this is the place to be. I will say that repackers pay some of the strongest percentages in the hobby. I know a lot of repackers personally that will pay full comp for downtowns and Kabooms, and there is a lot of money to be made buying up a lot of these cards. I mean, I know a lot of people are kind of on the fence about this. A lot of people think that it's not sustainable, or repackers, are shifting the market in unhealthy ways. But to be fully frank, it's kind of one of those things where my personal take on it is like, whether you like it or not, it's what's happening. And it's just overall shift in the market. It's a massive, massive change in the market, because no longer are people going after, the old school players as much as they were before. The Kobe's, the Jordans, the LeBrons even. You're not seeing as much, demand around, an MJ Fleer as you would, in the 2020 and 2021 sports card boom. You're not seeing as much demand and attention and hype around a lot of these guys. And you're seeing a lot of just demand around the modern cards. And I continue to tell people, if you are in the long-term holding game, buy up all the Jordans, buy up all the Kobe's, buy up all the LeBrons, buy up all the Shaqs, and you can sit on those and you will be safe with them. But if you are looking to flip cards, if you are looking to make money, consistently, or just make the most amount of money as possible, the best way to do it right now, I hate to say it, but it is in the modern cards. It is in, the CJ Strouds, the Anthony Richardsons, the Jordan Loves, the Jalen Brunsons, the hot new players, the Patrick Mahomes. If you look at, for example, like a Shaquille O'Neal, this is a Pop 700 BGS 9.5 Topps rookie card of his. It is literally selling for under the price of like a base CJ Stroud card, a base Victor Wembanyama card. And it is crazy, kind of like the way that the sports card market has, the direction that the sports card market has gone in, in the last couple years. And I think repackers have been playing a major role in that. It's a lot of flipping. It's a lot of the new hype prospects, chasing after them, creating cool packs around them, the new case hits that come out. A lot of people right now, for example, like Kaboom just released for basketball. So much hype around that, so much money to be made in that set. And there's just a lot of opportunities if you were kind of willing to branch out and understand that the game has changed. The financial side of the hobby has totally shifted from, the greats and the legends and the, long-term cards to the short-term flips, and the downtowns and the Kabooms and the stuff, quite honestly, that the repackers are going after. And I know, of course, you're going to see a lot of hype around Flawless, National Treasures, a lot of that, but even now, there's not even going to be autos in a lot of these products. So it's really, caused a massive shift, and I would say, a lot of people are on the fence, even messaging me on Instagram, hey, is this the way to go? Do I really have to buy into all these new products and this new hype? And I'm telling them, to be frank, if you are looking at it from a financial perspective, it is the best decision you'd ever make, to be honest. I know a lot of people who have a more long-term perspective as well, and that's totally fine. But, there's a lot of people making, I know personally that make over six figures a year, totally chasing after the new prospects. Of course, not buying in as soon as the product drops at the highest price. That's not what I'm saying, but it's more so there's a lot of margin in between to be made between, going to shows, or buying online, investing in the right players. For example, guys like Jordan Love, who have really gone up over the last couple months, because they had great seasons last year. A lot of these young players who I personally don't believe in for the long term. So even I've had to really adapt, my investing style and investing in a lot of players that, quite frankly, I think 10, 20 years from now, maybe a lot of the cards that, the people who are making the most money in the hobby right now are buying, maybe a lot of those cards will be worth 10% the price that they're at right now. And that is kind of just a part of the game. A lot of people are just not holding. They are flipping cards to the right people. And, the people who want to invest in them for the long term will take their gambles on which players will turn out to be legends. But overall, a lot of these cards are just priced very, very high because of all the short-term demand and, people wanting to buy up these cards. And there's a lot of short-term opportunities. I just mentioned it. Guys like Jalen Brunson, Jordan Love, like a lot of these players, I don't know if they're going to be all-time greats, but they are where the opportunity is for the short term. And there's a lot of money to be made, maybe in the next 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, in these players' markets. So I just really, my message from this video is more so to some people who maybe more on the collecting side, maybe just are not totally with this new wave of investing and the new wave of the hobby, going for, all of these modern players, going for all of these expensive products. And I just kind of want to say, I totally understand from that point of view, but at some point, it's almost like whether we accept it or not, it is happening, and it is where the opportunity is. And, me personally, I've begun to really enjoy, investing into these new players. It makes watching sports so much more fun, and just overall, even from a collecting aspect, it is a lot of fun to invest in players that you can watch on TV, young players who have the potential to be that next Kobe, that next LeBron, that next Jordan, that next Curry, that next Patrick Mahomes. It is really fun, and I think, if you kind of embrace it and look at it from that perspective, it could just bring a lot more joy and opportunities for you if you are looking to make money in the sports card hobby. So I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like. We are on our way to 50,000 subscribers, so I'd really appreciate it if you could go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Other than that, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'm out. Peace.